The wind howled through the dark, desolate streets as rain lashed against the windows of the old, decrepit house. Inside, Annie huddled in the corner, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and anticipation. For weeks, eerie incidents had been plaguing her every waking moment, and the sense of dread seemed to grow with each passing day. It had all begun innocently enough. Strange whispers, barely audible, would echo through the empty hallways at night. Objects would inexplicably move from one place to another, as if possessed by some unseen force. But as time went on, the occurrences became more malevolent. Annie's dreams turned into nightmares, filled with shadowy figures lurking in the corners of her mind. She would awake in a cold sweat, feeling an eerie presence in the room, as if someone, or something, was watching her every move. One night, she heard a blood-curdling scream coming from the basement. Trembling, she mustered up the courage to investigate. The basement was a dark abyss, with only a small flickering candle to guide her way. As Annie ventured further, the air grew colder and the overpowering smell of decay assaulted her senses. Suddenly, a gust of icy wind extinguished the candle, plunging Annie into total darkness. Panic set in, and she frantically fumbled for her way back, but every turn led her deeper into the maze-like basement. An overwhelming feeling of hopelessness washed over her, threatening to consume her sanity. Lost and disoriented, Annie collapsed to her knees, unable to find her way back to the safety of the upstairs. In the pitch-black darkness, she heard a grotesque whisper from an unseen entity. "You will never escape," it murmured, sending shivers down her spine. Time seemed to lose all meaning, as she remained trapped in that sinister, underground labyrinth. Despite her desperate attempts, the walls seemed to shift and change around her, mocking her futile attempts to escape. Every step she took seemed to lead her deeper into the clutches of the unknown. Days turned into weeks as Annie's mind teetered on the precipice of madness. The basement became her prison, and the haunting whispers her only companions. She could almost feel their cold breath on her neck as they whispered secrets from a forgotten past. But just as Annie began to lose all hope, a faint glimmer of light pierced through the darkness. It grew brighter, offering a glimpse of salvation. She followed the light, crawling on her hands and knees, desperate to reach freedom. With each inch she covered, the darkness receded, replaced by a warm, comforting glow. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Annie emerged from the basement, gasping for air. She found herself back in the familiar surroundings of her living room, but something was different. The oppressive energy that had weighed on her for so long was gone, replaced by an eerie silence. As the realization set in, Annie collapsed onto her couch, tears streaming down her face. The ordeal had taken its toll, both physically and emotionally, but she was free. Free from the clutches of the unknown, from the torment that had consumed her every waking moment. Days turned into weeks, and slowly but surely, Annie rebuilt her life. The horrific experience had changed her, leaving behind scars that would never fully heal. But she had also gained a newfound strength, a resilience that would carry her through whatever life threw at her. The old, decrepit house was sold, its secrets left behind to be forgotten by time. Annie moved to a quiet town, surrounded by the beauty of nature and a sense of tranquility that she had longed for. The nightmares, the whispers, and the shadowy figures eventually faded into distant memories. Life went on, and Annie found solace in the simple pleasures. She would often sit by her window, watching the world go by, grateful for each peaceful moment that came her way. The fear had dissipated, replaced by a deep appreciation for the beauty of life and the strength she had discovered within herself. Annie had faced her demons and emerged stronger on the other side. The journey had been terrifying, but it had led her to a place of resilience and self-discovery. And as the wind whispered its gentle secrets outside, she knew that she had conquered the darkness, and nothing would ever truly hold power over her again.